Waking up at 5 a.m. in the countryside, there are no city honks, only the sounds of insects and the wind whistling through the old door slits. My mind is strangely clear after months of insomnia in the stormy city. This moldy room is the only place welcoming me back when I am empty-handed at 40. To rebuild my life, I must first clean my shelter. Facing the bookshelf covered in 20 years of thick dust, I wipe down every single wooden corner and rearrange the books I brought from the city. Books cannot pay off my debts tomorrow, but they remind me of who I am. Titles can be lost, money can vanish, but the knowledge and painful life lessons in my mind can never be taken away. This will be my anchor to start over from a negative balance. But let's survive and endure with the mindset of a leader. Never give up. Debt is a lifelong spiritual journey. Have you ever wondered, why must I suffer because of debt with my back bent under the heavy burden and my mind restless every time night falls? Did I do something wrong in this lifetime? In truth, no. Debt is not necessarily a punishment. Debt is a profound lesson, a harsh training ground that forces you to mature. Debt teaches you humility, because only when you borrow do you truly understand the pain of those you might have once looked down upon. Debt builds your resilience because every single penny you earn from now on is soaked in sweat and immense patience. Debt forces you to keep your word. Paying on time is a mark of courage, and taking responsibility is a proof of character. Debt compels you to learn the art of letting go of your ego, letting go of expectations, and letting go of resentment towards life. Debt plants the seed of gratitude within you, because only in times of hardship do you see clearly who truly loves you, and above all, debt awakens you. You realize that money is not to be wasted, desires do not always need to be satisfied, and every opportunity must be earned through genuine sweat. Do not fear debt, because sometimes that very debt is the path that leads you away from your old self, to be reborn as a new human being, more steadfast, deeper, and full of compassion. No one matures without ever falling, and no one truly awakens without carrying a heavy debt in their life. Always remember this: owing money and silver is a small debt. Owing love and gratitude is what's truly impossible to repay. Sweeping away the debris on the porch, I close the gate and step onto the village road. After 20 years without human footsteps, the yard was buried under dry leaves and weeds. Stepping out of the suffocating four walls and standing before the windy countryside fields, I suddenly feel an incredible sense of vastness. At 40, when all titles are gone, the ego of a former businessman must be humbled. I walk along the alleys looking for a simple barbershop in the village to tidy up my appearance. During those chaotic days of running away, I neglected myself, letting my hair grow wild just like the mess in my life. As the scissors click, cutting off the old hair is my way of telling myself to completely discard the gloom and fatigue of the past. Looking at my neat self in the mirror now, I feel a spark of my old confidence returning. The peaceful environment and the rustic greetings from the villagers make me realize I am still alive, and there is always a chance to make amends. I fell into bankruptcy. When the deadlines arrived for the debts I owed to friends and family, the pressure became suffocating. It wasn't just the financial burden, but the sheer helplessness of seeing the people who trusted me suffer because of my own mistakes. In 2024, as the real estate market froze, my business completely lost all liquidity. The harder I struggled, the deeper I sank. That overwhelming pressure ultimately pushed my marriage to a breaking strain, leading to our separation. My career was entirely wiped out. I withdrew from the world, packed an old backpack, and fled. But today, I know I cannot run away forever. I accept and face my wounds, determined to rise from the ashes. Leaving the cafe, I walk past a project land site right at the edge of the village. Ironically, this used to be one of the hottest real estate plots during the boom, but now it is completely frozen. Looking at the barren concrete markers now buried under overgrown weeds, I see a vivid reflection of my own collapsed real estate business from 2024. The financial bubble didn't just wipe out my career in the city, it also left lingering scars on this peaceful countryside. This reality is harsh, but it serves as a wake-up call, forcing me to accept that the golden era of illusionary numbers is officially over. At 40, starting over from a negative balance, I cannot afford to be choosy. I must humble my ego and face reality. Tomorrow, I will officially begin working as a laborer, using my own physical strength to survive and slowly rebuild my life. The road is long, but as long as I dare to walk, I believe I will rise from the ashes. Thank you for walking with a 40-year-old rebuilding his life in this episode 2. After tidying up my space and getting a neat haircut, I decided to step outside, visiting a humble local breakfast spot and sitting at a small countryside cafe. It's been a long time since I immersed myself in such rustic communal spaces, where there is no glitz, no luxury suits, only the raw, everyday stories of honest country folks. Watching the coffee slowly drip, the dark memories of my life's downfall flash back vividly once again. I fell into bankruptcy. When the deadlines arrived for the debts I owed to friends and family, the pressure became utterly suffocating. It wasn't just a financial burden, but the sheer helplessness and deep humiliation of seeing the people who once trusted and stood by me suffer because of my own mistakes. In 2024, as the real estate market froze into crisis, my business completely lost all liquidity. The harder I struggled to manage the cash flow and interest rates, the deeper I sank into the quicksand of debt. That horrific pressure ultimately choked my home, pushing my marriage to a breaking strain and leading to our separation. My career, accumulated over a lifetime, was entirely wiped out. Back then, my only choice was to flee, but sitting here today, amidst the peaceful countryside breeze, I know I cannot run away forever. The 2024 real estate crash was a painful lesson, but it will not define the rest of my life. I opened my notebook, starting to pen down the directions for the journey ahead. At 40, starting over from a negative balance, I cannot afford to be choosy. I must completely humble the ego of my former businessman self. For now, I need to find an honest, labor-intensive job around the village. Any work will do, as long as it sustains my daily meals and helps me accumulate every small penny to pay off my debts. Meanwhile, I will use this time to observe and seek small, practical business opportunities right from agriculture or local products. The road is long and bumpy, but as long as I dare to walk and face reality, I believe I will find a ray of hope to rebuild my life from the ashes.